Hi everyone, I'm Autistic Ange. This is a podcast for adults who recently found out they're autistic and are looking for other autistic people like them. I thought I would do an episode on something positive for once. Oh, the dry mouth is already starting. Got my handy dandy water here. I don't think, my intention is not to complain about autism. Every time I do an episode, I fear maybe it sounds like I'm complaining about it, which, yeah, I guess I probably am sometimes. But just for the record, I would not give up being autistic for anything. If I had the choice to not be autistic and to be ordinary, I would not pick ordinary. Because being autistic is totally worth it. Like, yeah, the anxiety sucks, like, the social shit sucks, like, but I would rather think the way that I do than not, if that makes sense. But I wanted to touch on the positive aspects of autism, because I don't think I do that too much. And so sensory stuff came to mind because there's always a flip side to everything. And I think I've talked about like sensory processing issues I've had, but I don't think I've gone into depth about like how satisfying. There's more dry mouth. Oh no. You better not be listening to me through headphones. What was I saying? Oh, sensory stuff. Yeah. So I feel weird talking about myself, regarding like, this is what I like and this is how it makes me feel. And, I also like this and I like that and I like that. Like, it sounds just weird and I'm not even talking to anybody, but I know people will listen at some point. So I guess I'll just go into the sensory stuff that I like. The goal for this episode is for people out there to relate, hopefully. And to just know that while we have like so many, it seems, sensory processing issues, we also have sensory processing that is wonderful. So I think I babbled. So let's just start with music. I would like to say that I am grateful that I have all of my senses. I am grateful to have experienced music. Like, I cannot imagine not being able to hear, because so much of like what I take in, it just comes in the form of music. I'm always listening to music. Music helps me think about things, not just like, if you're feeling like shit, you put on like a sad song or something, not like that, but, I like artists that are just really good writers. They make you think. It's not just basic lyrics. I listen to hardcore mostly, like hardcore and metal. I like Straight Line Stitch, Atreyu, Killswitch Engage. There's this one band that doesn't fall into this category. They're called Aiden. I don't think they're still together. But when they were, and I lived in England when I was in the military, I went to 9 shows because they weren't even, I don't even think they're British, but they were always in England. So I always went. And now looking back, I was like, oh, Aiden was a special interest because I went to see them 9 fucking times. Which, that's fine. That's what you do with your favorite band, I guess. But going to shows and being around people like that, it doesn't bother me. Because I feel like I'm in my element. Like back in the day, like 20s, early 20s, mid 20s, I would go to hardcore shows where you like, you know, there would be the pit, and then you would just go in there and fucking swing your fists and hope you don't get a black eye. And I have definitely gotten a black eye. So it's just a different environment. Like, it's music. The people are all there for the same reasons. We all want to enjoy the music. Well, I shouldn't say not all of us, because like it seems every time I go to a show, there's always that one person. Oops, more dry mouth. There's always that one person that it gets like way too drunk, and obnoxious, or, you know, like fuck those people. You should not be going to shows if that's how you're going to behave, and what a waste of money, because you're not going to remember what you paid to go see. But, you know, it's like, I feel like it's my people. In England, I think England was where I had the most fun at shows, because like you just show up at the venue and there's this long line of people that dress like you know, it's an expensive way of like feeling like you fit in, I guess. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, explaining things is so hard sometimes. But, you know, like, it's just those people are my people. And I went to shows. I had like no anxiety about anything. And you put me in like Walmart or fucking like Wegmans or something, like I will freak out. Not freak out, not all the time, but you know. But yeah, going to shows. What I listen to in the car matters. So, like, I don't like to just put the radio on unless it's like Christmas and I'm listening to like the Christmas music station. But when I used to have to drive to work, like the longest I had to drive was 35 minutes. That was my last job. It was 35 minutes each way. And I would have at least a new playlist every week. And because like it's just, I don't want to be in the car and just listen to bullshit or have to keep flipping through songs, because that's annoying. So I will put all the songs that I really want to listen to into the playlist, so that I know I'll like everything that I hear. I mean, that's what a playlist is for, right? Doesn't everybody do that? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know how there's still radio. How are people still listening to the radio? And they get to pick what you listen to. I don't really like that. But yeah, I'm like that for anything. Except if it's like an errand around town or something. But if I'm going anywhere that's like more than 10 minutes away, I'm going to make sure that I have crafted my playlist so that nothing shitty comes up. I expect all the songs that are going to play. And yeah, when I'm in somebody else's car, which, you know, that doesn't really happen anymore. The only other car that I'm ever in is my wife's. But like, you know, before the pandemic, like years ago, I used to be driving around with people, and a lot of them listened to the radio, which was like, ugh. And it's just, I was very judgy. I still am. Like, pretty much, if you don't like the shit that I like, I do not like it. I don't like your music. It sucks. And that's not a nice thing to think or say, but I feel that way. I feel like, yeah, I'm very judgmental, when it comes to music, and I'm probably going to offend people. But that's what happens when we all have our own opinion, I guess. Yeah, I just don't like listening to music that's not mine, that's not what I enjoy. I think that's just normal. But I take it to a whole other level when I'm in somebody else's car. It's like, can you turn this off, please? I mean, I wouldn't do that anymore if I was driving around with people, but I was a bitch about it. I was like, I don't want to fucking listen to this mainstream bullshit. Like, no. Green Day, no thank you. Like, everybody knows who they are. They're on every fucking radio station probably. They're in, like, I don't like mainstream music really. So very judgy that way. And also, like, listening to music on a shitty sound system, because some of my friends in the past had, like, just no bass in their car. And I'm like, why listen to music if it's gonna sound like shit? Like, I like to listen to it with good bass. It's crisp. It's clear. It just sounds good. And those people that would, like, turn their stereos or their whatever in their car up so loud and there was no bass. It was just like noise. It was just deafening noise. And no, like, do not listen to music like that. Like, how do people enjoy that? I mean, I guess listening to music is better than listening to nothing at all, but I would rather listen to nothing at all than to listen to music on a shitty sound system. I think that's it for hearing. Like, music is pretty much my go-to. I listen to music as soon as I get up and I start my morning routine. I put it on. When I'm working, I listen to mostly dubstep because there's no actual lyrics in that music. Because lyrics will, since I read all day for work, like, lyrics would distract me because I would start focusing on them. And when I'm in a car going anywhere, I always turn on music. If I'm not watching, like, TV or listening to, like, an audiobook or something, I will be listening to music. It's just very calming. Even, like, the loud hardcore stuff, it's calming to me. I like the guitars. I just like all the instruments put together like that. It just sounds nice. Music is, I love music. I don't know what I would do without it. Something else that I like as far as, like, hearing wise goes is, more water. Is ticking. I like ticking clocks. Like, I should have probably hid that or, like, put that in a drawer. If you hear ticking, I really hope you don't hear ticking. It's too late now. There's this clock I have that, somebody gave me. It's like a little cheap, like, I don't know how to describe it because I'm not good at that. But anyways, it ticks really loud. It's like tick, 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 tick. And I like listening to that. If there's no music on, I guess. Yeah, I do. I like going to people's houses where they have, like, those clocks that do the tick, tick, tick. I don't know. It's just comforting. And I know that, like, there's lots of people that don't like, it's just a weird thing to find calming as, like, the ticking of a clock, but oh well. Yeah, so sensory wise, I think for now that's it for hearing. For food, oof. Every time I eat, like, legit, just about, I would say 95% of the time, because I do sometimes accidentally eat food that doesn't taste good. And when I say accidentally, I mean, like, I'm out somewhere and I ordered something and I have to eat some of it because I already paid for it. I don't want to be rude to the people that cooked it in the back. But, aside from that, every time I eat something, I feel like it's the best thing I've ever had. Like, when I get on my ramen kicks, which I'm not really on a kick, but I would like to have it, like, at least twice a week. Or, like, even if I've had it, like, holy shit, I went on a ramen kick for, like, a fucking month, I think, every single day. Bamboo shoots, fish cakes, like, the good ramen, not like the cheap, like, shit that's like 39 cents or something. Like, the good, you go to the Asian store, the good fucking ramen. And I would have that every single day. And when I had it every day for like a month, up until like the last 2 times, it was like I was eating it for the first time. It was so good. I looked forward to it every single day. It's so hard to put into words, this stuff, but I think you guys know what I mean. And, the last 2 days when it starts becoming like, that lets me know that it's time to put the ramen to the side for a while. But I do that with like lots of stuff. And like I guess not everything has to taste good all the time, because I do eat vegetables sometimes. They're not bad, but they're not like, oh my God, I can't wait to eat this. Because I like to eat food that I feel like, oh my God, I can't wait to eat this. Not like, oh, I got to eat this because I guess veggies need to be in my body sometimes. But that's what supplements are for, right? I don't know. But most of the time I just eat what tastes good. And yeah, that's why I don't like to eat things that other people have made, not only because I don't know if they're dirty birds or not, like if I don't know them that well. But anyways, so that's how I feel when I eat. Oh, when I had Sylvester, that big old cyst in my on my ovary for like all those months, I did not feel this way about food. I wished that I could feel that way. It was just because it was pressing on my stomach and everything was getting squished by that big ass cyst, that I didn't have an appetite. I was nauseous all the time. So like, I'm referring to before and after Sylvester. So Sylvester, before death and after, I don't know, but during Sylvester. And if you this is the first episode, excuse me, you're listening to, and you don't know what Sylvester is, I encourage you to go back and try to figure out what that is. Go find some episodes to listen to. Excuse me, I'm also a little allergy. Oh, I sound gross. What else? Spicy stuff I cannot handle. I have tried to understand this my whole life. Like, why do people get so excited about spicy stuff? Like the ones that have to have the hot sauce on everything, or it has to be the hottest. I don't understand how you can taste the actual food when your mouth is on fire. I don't understand that. Maybe do people really, can they like taste the food? Like, with all that hot sauce when their mouth is on fire? I don't know how that works, but like, I have had hot sauce before and I'll never have it again because it's just like an unpleasant experience. Like, I don't like my mouth feeling on fire, and I don't like that I can't actually taste what I want to taste. So no spicy. Desserts. Desserts I have to be very picky with. I actually am always very picky with desserts because, you shouldn't really be eating a lot of them because they're, loaded with sugar and blah, blah, blah. And I'm not going for like some healthy ass dessert. Like, I did keto for like a year and I had to make my own desserts, and you don't get very many choices like cream cheese and cocoa powder. Like, ugh, I'm so glad I'm not doing keto anymore. Plus, it's not really sustainable. What was I just saying? Fuck. I got this far, man, and I thought I was going to make it the whole episode. Picky with desserts, yes. So at the bakery at Wegmans, I don't always just go for the same thing. Sometimes I like to try different things. Not try them, like I know what they taste like, but I don't know. I can't just eat anything. Like, I'm not going to just pick up a bag of fucking chocolate or something, or like grab a box of cookies. And no, like, I want to think about, like, do I really want to eat this right now? How is this going to taste? Because like, even if I get a little slice of cake from the bakery, I better really want that little piece of cake because it's going to be like its own experience later on when I have my coffee and I'm eating my cake at the same time. And it's this whole experience that I look forward to. More dry mouth. I don't know. I really like food and I really like dessert. And I don't mind that it takes me a while to pick one out. You know, like I don't want to just be putting any calories in me. Like, what a waste. Like, at least they better taste good. Moving right along. I know this is really random and I'm probably all over the place, but that's what my mind does. How I feel when I wear good clothing. I know I've talked about like, specific clothes and stuff, but how I feel when I am wearing good clothing, it's the best in the world. Like when I have good fitting shoes and socks and, just everything I'm wearing feels great. Like compared to having to wear uncomfortable work clothing in the past. Stuff like that. Like I love how I feel when I wear the clothes that I like. They just feel like they were made just for me, like that kind of thing. So like I'm not going to wear anything that doesn't feel that great. Like I don't know why people do this. Like they'll complain about, "Oh, this t-shirt's like a little too tight." Well, then why the fuck are you wearing it? Like take it off and go find one that's not as tight. Like why are you complaining about it? So yeah, when I wear my clothes, I feel great in them. And it is the best feeling, especially like after a shower. Oh, talk about like a sensory experience. Like I call some showers unemployment showers because when my wife and I were laid off years ago, like we moved out to Syracuse for a job and 6 months later they had to close down because there were fucking people at the top stealing money and we got laid off. And, we took advantage of unemployment for a little bit because we were meeting our bills and stuff. But, like, when you just sit around the house all day, you start to feel grody. And then we would take showers at night and feel like $1,000. Wait, that's not a good shower. $1 million. Holy $1,000,000. That's what people say, right? I don't know. $1,000 shower. That's still a good shower. But it was the best feeling. Like you go from feeling like, ugh, to like, I am spotless. Like I feel so clean. I smell good. So yeah. And putting nice clothing on that feels great after a shower is just the icing on the cake. I don't know. It is for me. I like things that have weight to them. So I do have fidget spinners. Is that what you call them? Spinners? I don't know. And I'm surprised, like, there's lots of plastic ones, and I don't understand why people like the plastic ones because they just feel cheap, a lot of them to me. But on Amazon, there were metal ones I found that had, like, if you threw one at somebody's head, you'd probably kill them. Like, they were pretty heavy. And I have a couple of those because I like to feel weight to things that, like, I'm playing with. Like, I like marbles because they're pretty, like, weighty if you're holding, like, a handful of them. I get specific phone cases that make my phone feel heavier when they're in my pocket, when it's in my pocket. My jewelry, like I don't wear a lot of it, but like my wedding ring, I wanted to make sure that it had some weight to it. It's a thick band, not like a little rinky-dinky one, because I'll probably lose something that's light, and also like it's not calming to play around with shit that doesn't feel like that it has some weight to it. I don't know why that is. What else? Oh yeah, water beads, those little things that like you stick in water and then they expand a little bit. Oh, sorry about the dry mouth. It's just really bad. But I like to run my hand, like I like to fill a bowl with those water beads, and when they expand, to just stick my hand in the bowl and squeeze the beads. it's just so satisfying. It feels nice. And like sometimes I'll do the same thing with the marbles. I'll just like run my hands through like a bowl of marbles and just I like the sound that it makes. I like the weight of it. Like the sensory experience with marbles is just amazing to me. Like I like the way they look. All the different like designs. And I play with balls. Not anymore. Just kidding. Not really, but I play with balls. I like the stress balls. I like to throw those around. There's this thing that we had gotten for my wife's niece. It's called like Nido or something, and we forgot to bring it with us. Like we just forgot about it, didn't wrap it or anything, and I just took it. I was like, they live so far away. Like, no, I'm just gonna take it and play with it, and I love it because it's squishy, it's the right consistency, it gives me something to do when like I'm watching TV or having a conversation. It's just very nice, and it's got some weight to it. And you know, like I am not ashamed anymore of talking about like that I use fidget stimmers. Oh my god, fidget spinners. I might have used a little bit of extra pot last night before I went to bed. I mean, I just worked so hard this week. And I finished all my work last night. And I was like, oh. But anyways, I'm not encouraging marijuana. So stimming, I don't like that word. Do you know, like there's just words that you don't like the way that they sound. I don't know why I don't like certain words, but stimming, I fucking hate saying it. I hate hearing it. So I have changed it for myself. And instead of stimming, I call it shimmying. You know, like shimmy, shimmy. So when I'm shimmying, I am throwing a ball up in the air or play with like water beads or marbles or anything. I shimmy. Not stim. Also, don't do this. I'm not recommending this, but like to calm myself down sensory wise, I do like to pull on some leg hair, and I am a skin picker. Usually like the cuticles and like the bottom of my lip. I don't really pick like anything else, but and I know that's not good for you, but I figure like I don't get infected. I don't have to go to the hospital. I'm not hurting anybody. I'm not in like pain. So like, what's the big deal? I love LED lights. Oh, so for like sensory stuff, for like just, I don't know how to say it. Just like looking around, I need to see lights. So on Amazon, there's this one person I buy, like she sells, I don't know, was it 24 of those little LED lights that flash like they're, look like real candles. And I buy them twice a month because I'll leave them on all the time. Like I'm not going to go around to like 20 something LED lights and click them off every fucking night and turn them back on the next day. I'm not doing it. So they last for 2 weeks. That's longer than I thought they would. And I've been doing this for like a few years. I have a blue light, like, you know, those bulbs you can buy that change colors. You can pick a color or whatever. I like to put the blue one on because the neon stuff in my room, like, I like the way it looks under the blue light. I have a string of skulls hanging from one of the windows that lights up. I have like Christmas lights I've got in like one of the other rooms that like like night lights that you leave on overnight. We don't use traditional night lights. We like use random shit. I don't like the microwave light because I'm always afraid it's gonna like start a fire if it's on too long. It's just like my own shit. But so I plug in like these blue Christmas lights, just got one string of them, and that way when you get up you have soft lighting. The cats can see things, you know. It's not like you don't have to fumble for a switch to get some light when you get up. But yeah, I love, love, love lights. I love Christmas lights. There's this one thing called Lights on the Lake that we go to every year. It's like 10 minutes from where we live. And every year they have like one new thing, but it's usually the same stuff. And I don't care. Like, I love the lights. I love walking around at night during winter and looking at people's Christmas lights. Like, lighting is very important to me. It's just very calming, and smells, like, I'm very serious about my smells. Like, years ago, I used to be very much into candles. Like, oh my God, I bought all kinds of candles. I had like 20 of them lit like every day. They weren't all different smells because that would be a little bit nauseating, but I used to light so many, they would be everywhere because ambiance, you know? Like, it's also like, it's just cozy, and good smells are calming for me. And then once I got up to like cat number 5, I was like, it's probably not a good idea to have a bunch of fire all throughout the house when you got 5 cats. That's like 20 feet, 20 little tootsies running around the house, knocking shit over. So I switched to LED. Oh, wait. No, I'm talking about smells. Oh my God. So yeah, I did away with the candles, and I think what came out, like, what was that? I forgot what the name of it is. It's like the little liquid shit, like oil. You put it in the thing, and then you put like a little tea light underneath it, and then it like warms it up and smells good. Like, I don't remember what that's called, but I did that for like a year. And I just didn't, it didn't smell up the whole house. It just wasn't really my thing. So I did away with that. And then I was introduced to wax melts, and that's like pretty much all I use. I love the way they smell. They just make the entire house smell good. And I think I've talked about this before, but like, I'm very like sensory wise. Before I leave the house, I want to make sure my environment is cozy so that when I come back in, I feel like, oh, I'm so glad to be home. Do you know what I mean? Like, not just like coming home and you're glad you're home, but like, I want to walk in, because when I walk in, I'm walking right into my room, because my room is the former living room. And so when I walk in, it better smell nice. There better be like some LEDs going. There might even be some music playing on the sound bar, you know, like cats like music, right? But I want to make the sensory experience as pleasurable as possible when I return home, because it's so chaotic out there in my head, in stores. You know, like, I only leave when I have to, and I just want to come back home, and I just want to have a nice experience every time I come into the house. Is that weird? Like, my wife doesn't think about stuff like that, and I'm like, why wouldn't you? Like, why wouldn't you think about, oh, in 6 hours when I come home, I want to feel like this? Like, is that strange? Is that an autistic thing, or is that just a me thing? But anyways, smells, more dry mouth. Body spray. I can't wear perfume because I'm allergic, and body spray, I can only spray on my clothes. I can't spray it on skin. So I spray a lot of it, and it smells good. And once I find a body spray that I like, I'll use it for years. I'm just going to admit that I use the Calgon. How do you say that brand? I don't know. Calgon. Sorry, Calgon, or whatever the fuck your name is. But they make that take me away, like, Calgon, take me away sprays. You know what I mean? Like, it's a blue one. I forgot what the name of it is. But anyway, and I've been using it for years. But I use those. And like one time last year, I was at like Walgreens and I was buying a bottle. And the lady she was like in her 20s. And she's like, oh, my grandma loves this. And I was like, cool. Well, I do too. Because I guess, like, it's for old people, some of the smells. I don't know. Food has to smell good. Who eats stuff that doesn't smell good? I've seen people do it. I don't know why they do it. Like, we would be at a holiday party, for some job I was at, and it would be like a potluck. People would bring their own shit, and that's so gross because there's just so many smells all put together. And when you would go down the line of food and you would get like in front of a certain dish that somebody made and it just smelled awful, I would see people like wrinkle their noses and still take some. Like, why? 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 You would still eat it? I'm not putting anything in my mouth unless like it tastes good. Sorry. That's not happening. If it doesn't, or not taste good, smell good. If it doesn't like smell good, like it's not going anywhere near me. I love presentation. I like to look at like different things like since I'm on food, when you go to like restaurants and stuff, I will check out the menu. I will look at the pictures that people have taken of their food, even though I make fun of people that take pictures of their food. I still look at them to see what it looks like when it comes out of the kitchen, because I don't want to eat some bullshit. Like, you're going to bring me out a plate that has like some slop on it, and it doesn't look visually appealing. There's no color to it. I don't want to put it in my mouth. I don't care if it smells good. It's missing the visual component. And I'm sorry if that makes me sound like a snob, but like, it's a whole thing. Like, I'm very serious about like sensory experiences. When I can have good ones, I do what I can to make sure they stay good. I don't just do it halfway, because I have so many sensory processing issues that when I don't have them, like, I want to make sure it stays that way for as long as possible. I love art. Holy shit, there's so much of it on all of my walls, everywhere. Every day, I always look around at it. It's very calming. And I don't know if this counts as sensory, but it's visual. I don't know if it counts, but I like to watch animals live their lives. Not just my cats, but, like during the summer, I'd be in the backyard and have a bird feeder out and watch all the birds like fight over the food, or like look to see what the squirrels are doing. It's just nice to see them live their lives. I don't know. I like vibrant colors. I mean, I would never wear them. I usually just wear gray or black, but I like, to look at things that have lots of color. So yeah, I think that's it. I love the sensory experiences that I get that are not bad. I don't know what else to call them except for like positive ones, but when I experience them, they are like, I can't even put into words how I feel when I smell something so good, or when I taste something so yummy. It's so hard for me to put into words, and I hope that there's somebody out there that knows what I'm trying to say and maybe even feels the same way. But this is why I would not give up being autistic for anything, because the joy that I get in like these little things that seem to be called little things according to ordinary people, the joy that I get from these is so worth it. And what's weird is like, my wife, for example, will not have anywhere near the same experience I do with food or something. Like, for example, with food, like, we'll go out to eat, at like a few years ago, we went to like a fine dining restaurant. Fine dining, is that what you call it? High end, maybe? I don't know. Like rich people? I don't know. It was a nice restaurant, and we were treating ourselves. We've never been there before. It's like the kind that like rich people go to probably all the time. And I was like, oh my God, this tastes like fucking gold. And, my wife was like enjoying the food too, but she didn't seem to be enjoying it as much as I was enjoying it. And like, throughout my life, I've always thought that like I'm weird, like why do I get so excited about stuff that most people don't seem to get excited about? But now I know it's because I'm autistic. And when she doesn't have similar reaction to the one I have, I always am like, what? Like, this just tastes okay to you? You're just eating food that tastes okay? Like, that's it? That's all you have to say about it? Or like, if something smells so good, like I am very verbal with my wife. I'm like, oh my God, like I will tell her everything, all the details. And like, she won't have the same experiences as me. Most people, actually, pretty much everybody throughout my whole life has not had the same sensory experiences as me. So that's why I've always thought that I was weird. But now I know I'm not. Did this episode make sense? I hope I didn't complain. God, I'm doing that oh no, I'm judging myself, and like I have anxiety now because I know I was all over the place and I probably had a lot of dry mouth. And I recorded as soon as I got up. Well, not as soon, but like 30 minutes after I got up, 40 minutes. I probably should have waited until my mind was working a little bit better. I definitely sound autistic right now, don't I? Anyways, that's all I have to say right now about positive sensory experiences. I will repeat. I would never, ever, ever trade autism for anything, because the experiences that I have with these different sensory things are the best in the world, the best. And I wish I could put it into words better than that, than just sound like a fifth grader, like it's the best, they're great, they're awesome. Okay, well, hopefully you guys can relate, and hopefully you have these kind of experiences as well. This was just me recording into an app on my phone, hoping people find and listen and relate, and have a similar experience to the one I had when my mind is like going. All right, I gotta go. Thanks, bye.